And our second main topic today gets submitted to us by J Moodz, who writes, "Hey, John and crew. So, Chris Pratt voicing Mario for the upcoming Super Mario film was shocking to say the least. The Hollywood Reporter has just reported that he is now voicing Garfield in an animated film based on the character. Would love to hear your thoughts. Big fan of the show, by the way." All right, thanks a lot for sending that in, Jay. And yeah, you're not wrong. It was just a little while ago that we found out that Chris Pratt was going to be doing the voice of Mario in a live action or in a Super Mario, in an animated Super Mario movie coming. And he was going to be doing the voice of Mario. And of course, I love Chris Pratt. Look, I make no bones about it. I don't hide it. I love this guy. I love him as a performer. I've loved him ever since he was in Parks and Rec. I think he's great in the MCU as Star-Lord, as Peter Quill. I like him in the Jurassic Park movies. I just think he's a great performer. I also like him very much personally. You guys know I've had the opportunity a number of times to get together with Chris Pratt, and he has always been, I think it's safe to say he has been my best celebrity experience with. He's just a super nice, super authentic, amazingly kind, wonderful guy. I've just always really liked the dude. So I give you full disclaimer on that, right? So when they announced that he was going to be the voice in Super Mario, I was like, okay, I'll get by the fact that as an Italian myself, I'm like, I'll get by the fact that they're not getting, Italians to do the voice of these two iconic Italian characters. Actors portray people they are not in real life. So I'm fine with that. I'm okay with that. But it was a little bit strange. The idea of him being the voice of Mario has grown on me, but still it was a little bit strange at first. And then they announced he was going to be Garfield. Now, before I give my thoughts on the Garfield thing, let's go over, this comes to us from the folks over at Deadline who write, "The still untitled project will be written by David Reynolds, who wrote Finding Nemo, which was great, and directed by Mark Dindal from Chicken Little and The Emperor's New Groove, both of which I like. Alcon acquired the rights from Davis, who will also serve as an executive producer with Bridget McNeil from Assume and Craig Sost. John Cohen, Despicable Me and Angry Birds, and Stephen P. Wegner will produce, along with Alcon principals Kosov and Johnson. Along with Alcon Entertainment, DNEG Animation will animate and produce the film. DNEG CEO Namit Malhotra, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, and DNEG President Tom Jacome will serve as the producers." So, there are two questions that come to mind. The first question is, why is this movie getting made? Before we even get to the Chris Pratt part, let me ask the question. Why is this movie getting made? I mean, they did Garfield, what was it, in 2005? Help me out in the live chat, guys. Help me out in the live chat. When did that Bill Murray Garfield one come out? I want to say 2005, but you know me, I'm horrible with movie dates. Epic Dub Time is saying 2004, so is Al Johnson. Okay, so back in 2004, I would take your guys' word over mine on that. I'm terrible with movie dates. Back in 2004, they did it with the great Bill Murray. And that was terrible. Now, the two Garfield movies that they made money. They did. They made money, but they were terrible. And it left a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths with Garfield. Garfield, I believe, was introduced in 1976. And he was, because I remember when I was in grade school, like in the 80s, I remember like Garfield was a cool thing. Whenever they had book ordering day, I would always want to order the new Garfield book. I love, Garfield. I love Odie, all that kind of stuff. I love the character. I really did. But did we really need to see him in a live action? Then he even had his own cartoon series. But did we need a live action Garfield? I would propose no. Then again, no movie in history has ever been needed. But there was really no need for a Garfield movie. But they made it. They got Bill Murray doing the voice, and they are what they are. In 2021, is there a market demand? And I ask this, I don't ask this facetiously. I ask this honestly. Is there a market demand for another Garfield? Like, I know I personally, even though I was a fan of the character back when I was a kid, I personally have never felt like, you know what we need? You know what could be really good? Another Garfield movie. I'm just telling you, that phrase, those words have never personally come out of my pie hole. Those are not words I've ever spoken until today's show. You know what I think would be really good? Another Garfield movie. Yeah. Yeah, that's what we need. No, don't do another Man of Steel 2 with Henry Cavill. No. Put that on the back burner. You know what we really need? And I understand this isn't Warner Brothers. I get that. I'm just saying, you know what we really have to have? What I think the people want. The people want a lasagna-loving feline. That's what the people want. I've just never said those words. I'll tell you what else. I've never heard those words. And I don't know if any of the rest of you guys have ever felt like, you know what I really could go for? Another Garfield. Have any of you guys ever done that? I haven't. Have you ever heard anybody say that? I haven't. So part one of this is, why are they doing another Garfield movie? That I don't get. Okay, so let's move on from that. And let's do the second part of this. Is, okay, so if you're going to do it, they get Chris Pratt to do it. Well, listen. I again scratch my head at the selection of Chris Pratt, just like I did for the Mario Brothers movie. But here's the thing. Chris Pratt right now has appeared, maybe there are others, but in two, high profile animated films with the Lego movie and Onward. And I'll tell you what, and granted, I've already disclosed, I'm a big fan of Chris Pratt, so take that into consideration. But I haven't heard anybody say they didn't think he didn't do a fabulous job with the Lego movie, being the special in the Lego movie. He did great in that. And Onward is one of these movies that was really unfortunate that it got released right around when the pandemic was starting, right? And a lot got distracted by it. A lot of attention was distracted away from it. But I'll tell you what, Onward, I thought was a wonderful movie. Onward is wonderful. Chris Pratt, Tom Holland is the voices of the two brothers. I thought it had real heartfelt emotion. My wife was crying a lot through the movie. I thought it was charming and funny. And yeah, as a Dungeons and Dragons guy, the fact that the whole movie is kind of one big Dungeons and Dragons allegory, that also appealed to me too. But I thought it was really charming. And Pratt, as the voice of the bigger brother, was great. And so while I was as shocked as anybody to hear that he was going to be the voice of Mario, as I reflected back on the fact that, well, I thought it was an odd choice for him to be in Lego Movie, and that worked great. I thought it was an odd choice for him to do a voice in something like Onward, and that worked great. He has proven to me that he's pretty darn good when it comes to doing the animated voices. So, I mean, I don't know. Listen, I admit, I'm with a lot of everybody else online. Like, a lot of people online are like, wait a minute, Chris Pratt is Garfield? Hey, look, I fully admit that at first I was kind of thinking the same way, but the more I think about it, he's showing that he's actually quite versed and doing really well with the animated stuff. So, again, I don't question Pratt being chosen to do the voice of Garfield. I think that can work just fine. I do question the decision to even do a Garfield movie. I don't personally know anybody that's excited about this news, but who knows? Maybe it'll grow on me. Maybe once we hear the idea, right? Maybe there's $1 billion idea in here that's going to make this really fun and maybe everybody will love it. Who knows? But for right now, I got to admit, I'm kind of skeptical. Question is for you guys. What do you think about this news that Chris Pratt, number one, that they're going to be doing a Garfield movie, but number two, that Chris Pratt is going to be the voice of Garfield, taking over the reins, if you will, from Bill Murray. I just, the whole thing feels weird to me. Maybe you think it's fantastic. Maybe you think it's terrible. Whatever you guys are thinking, jump down into the comments section below and leave your thoughts there.